The Quiet Room, the complete guide to Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, and is the building's theming that good? This is episode 498 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello, everybody. I am Michelle, your host for today. I have with me my male counterparts, Lee Malaby.
Hello, everyone.
And Chris Zavala.
Hello.
Poor Tracy is out today with the sniffles, so we will miss her.
But yeah.
I will miss her greatly because I like the estrogen, but...
Me and Lee can try to make up for that, I guess. I don't
to
know.
be fair, I've got probably more estrogen than anybody on the podcast, so you're all right.
Well, you do like a daiquiri.
By the way, I have to call out Chad Day in the Producers Club. That video made my day the other day when he posted that about, ooh, I do like a daiquiri.
That was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
It's always the random things that get the attention.
And if you want to know what it is, you need to join the Producers Club, so I'm just going to leave it dangling there.
So much fun stuff in the Producers
really
Club, guys.
is
If you're not a member, you should be. All right. Well, as usual, we're going to jump right into things, specifically some little things by Seth Kabursky.
Hi, this is Seth Kabursky, co-author of the Unofficial Guides. I'm back with an Ides of March edition of all the little things that are new around the Universal Orlando Resort. Let's start with the biggest little piece of news for Universal Orlando Annual Pass holders. Prices of annual passes at Universal Orlando have just gone up by $50 for the lower tiers and by $90 for the top premier tier. Discounts are still available for renewal and for Florida residents, and at least Universal is still selling annual passes, unlike the mouse down the street.
Haha.
The other big piece of little news is that early park admission returned to both parks on March 5th through 6th, March 12th through 19th, and we'll be back again for April 11th through 17th. That's to take care of the busy spring break crowds at both Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. Outside of those select dates, early park admission will continue to be at IOA only. I recently got to try out early park admission at IOA with Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which recently returned to the EPA lineup. Here's a pro tip. Line up at least a half hour before Islands of Adventure opens at the far left entrance near the group sales window. I was able to scan into the park at 7:45 a.m. and was one of the first people of the day to board Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. By the time I exited the ride a few minutes after 8, there was already an hour wait behind me. But I was able to complete Forbidden Journey, Hippogriff, and the Velocicoaster all before the park officially opened at 9 a.m.
Wow.
I did notice that they were only running 1 out of every 6 flying benches at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey during the first half hour of early park admission. I ended up waiting 15 minutes for the ride, even though there was hardly anyone ahead of me. To avoid that happening to you, be sure to save Forbidden Journey for late in the early park admission when they start running it closer to full capacity, or better yet, save Forbidden Journey for late in the day. By the way, when I rode Velocicoaster, I noticed that the back row of all trains are once again in operation. They had been closed off during my previous visit, but whatever technical issue was going on that day was solved. Over at the other Wizarding World of Harry Potter, if you're taking the Hogwarts Express from King's Cross Station, you may notice that Hedwig has been uncaged. The Hedwig Owl animatronic that normally sits inside a cage on a pile of luggage near platform 9 3/4 has been hopefully temporarily replaced with a static figure of an owl without a cage. Presumably this is just for a temporary refurbishment. Speaking of refurbishment, Popeye and Bluto's Bilge-Rat Barges is currently receiving its annual cleanup. Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls right next door recently reopened, but it looks like they may not have quite completed all of the painting. The colorful roofs on the shacks at the base of the Big Drop are currently plain white. Something else that's looking newly undecorated is the sides of the former home of Shrek 4D over in Universal Studios Florida. They recently stripped the Shrek signage off of the building, temporarily revealing signs for old shows like Murder, She Wrote, but now the building is entirely bare. The construction walls in Kid Zone that I recently remarked on have been rearranged once again. They've now shifted slightly further away from the animal actors stage, so it looks like the refurbishment of the curbs and hardscape in that area is going to continue a little while longer. And a couple notes in the New York area. The Sing It show is once again on hiatus, though I expect it to return in time for spring break crowds. And I've also noticed that they've removed the virtual line signage from the Jimmy Fallon attraction listing in the Universal Studios Florida Park map. The attraction is currently using a hybrid boarding system, whereas guests can wait standby but still receive a color for a boarding group before they're allowed to ascend to the upper level from the lobby. Your mileage may vary because they seem to change up operations at Jimmy Fallon depending on guest demand. A few last little notes. Out in City Walk, if you're feeling like a fresh prince, there is a throne you can sit on for a photo op tied to the Bel Air TV show now streaming on Peacock. And finally, if you're driving to and from Universal from the downtown Orlando area, check out those express lanes that were recently added to the middle of I-4. I've been using them to get to the parks from my home, and I found that the best exit to use for Universal is the one marked Kirkman Road. However, be aware that it actually leads you to Grand National. You'll have to head north on Grand National and then west on Major Boulevard in order to reach Universal Orlando itself. Okay, that's all for now. I'll be back at the end of the month with more little things. Until then, you can find the unofficial guide to Universal Orlando and all my other books at theunofficialguide.com. You can follow me on Twitter at TheUGSeries or at The Unofficial Guides on Instagram. And I'll see you again soon with more little things from around the Universal Orlando Resort.
That's a big price increase for APs.
When we come over in September, I was looking at getting, because Tracy, Jade and I have obviously got our annual passes left over from 2020. So I was looking at getting our oldest a seasonal pass because it was cheaper than the 2-week tickets that we can get over here. That is now not the case. So even the lowest tier annual pass is more expensive than like the 14-day tickets we can get over here, which hasn't been the case for a long, long time.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. I wonder if that is to combat that very instance that you just said, Lee, because people have caught on that in most cases, if you're going to be there for any longer than 3 days, it was cheaper just to buy a season or an annual pass. Quite possibly.
I don't think so. I think it's just the same thing like everybody else jumping on the inflation bandwagon.
You think? But that's a big price increase.
Everybody's doing it. Nobody's doing 7%.
And you've also got the fact that a lot of the Brits are starting to come back over, and they'll be coming for the most part, probably longer because they haven't been able to get over for that long. So an annual pass is the way to go. And it's because we've been plugging it on here for so long that people are like, oh yeah, an annual pass is better than the 2-week tickets we get.
So we're the problem.
Possibly.
Oh, okay.
Going back, actually, I wanted to bring something up over last week. You know, Michelle, I asked you about can we get our annual passes back when we stay at Dockside? Mm-hmm. I've had quite a few people get in touch and say because we have a GC code, we would have to go to guest services at the park, so we wouldn't be able to get them at the hotel. So at least we know.
Yeah, I figured because it's kind of a special circumstance.
Yeah.
For sure. I enjoyed seeing the pictures of all the posters coming down off of Shrek 4D and seeing that Murder, She Wrote. I was like, oh my God, that's like from my childhood.
It's kind of crazy that they just pasted over the top of them.
Yeah.
Right. That's
saves
funny.
a buck.
I'm sure it does. Apparently, I know I saw some pictures last week that the exterior of it hasn't held up particularly well, and it's leaking and all sorts when the work they're doing on it at the moment. So I wonder if there'll be a bit more of some more extensive work going on it to turn it into whatever it is they are turning it into now because of potential water damage.
Oh, wow. And I know this is silly, but I am not even a Florida resident, and I'm super excited about those I-4 express lanes. I'm like, the traffic is so terrible that I would pay for a sun pass just to be able to use those express lanes when I visit. Do you have the same issue coming from south, Chris?
Not really, because we're taking the turnpike all the way up. We ride I-4 for just a little bit,
Okay.
and we're there at the park. So I don't get all that crazy I-4 traffic. I also mainly go to Universal. So if we were to do Disney, I think you ride it a little bit more. So obviously you have that crazy traffic that I know a lot of people complain about. But for us, we don't really hit that.
Okay, because when I drive, once I hit down, like right just before downtown Orlando, the traffic, no matter what time of day it is, it just stops. And it takes me probably at least 30 to 45 minutes to go 12 miles, if that. So when I was there last, I don't even know what month it is now. So when was I there?
Like 6
for
weeks,
Mardi Gras?
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I saw those lanes and they were advertising like with the date they were going to be open. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for that. So
I'd be curious to see what the pricing is going to be, just because we have that down here for like I-95 in Miami.
Oh, is that what they are? I didn't realize they were like a toll road.
Yeah. It's not like an express lane because they're like, hey, we want to help you out. It's to get more money.
Oh, I didn't realize.
No.
I just thought they were like sort of high-speed lanes or something. I didn't realize that's what they were.
Unless I'm mistaken, which I can almost guarantee you this is a charge to go.
Okay.
Like they literally separate the lanes.
Sun pass holders only.
There you go.
Pass holders only.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they get dynamic. So like in South Florida, when I used to have to travel a lot to downtown, when I worked over there, if it was a bad day, right? Normally you're like talking, a couple bucks to ride on the turnpike. Well, would be like an additional $15 one way.
Yeah.
Just to like, it depends how bad traffic was. But then you got to play that into your mind. Like the way I would look at it, I go, the more expensive this thing is, the more of my life I'm going to lose on the regular lane. And so I just would always have to pay it because it would just be terrible traffic. So I'm curious to see how bad this one will get.
And these express lanes are actually like in the middle of the interstate of the two, going opposite ways. They're in the middle and they're blocked off by cement blockades. So it's not like a normal express lane where people can choose to like cheat if they wanted to and just hope they don't get caught.
With those like little flapper things.
This is like once you're in until the next exit. So you can't like, there's a cop, get out real fast.
Did you see if does it work both ways at all times?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have another express type of lane down here on a different highway where it's in the middle of both, but it only works in certain directions at certain times, depending on how like the traffic is. So they can close off one entrance, open up another, and kind of do it that because they didn't have enough to make both. So
now I'll be honest, I didn't pay that close attention to the whole way. So I assumed that it was both ways, the whole length, but I could be wrong. So regardless, I know that seemed like a silly thing to put into a Universal podcast, but it's really not.
I mean, people are going to use it for sure.
I was just going to say that concludes this episode of the unofficial I4 podcast.
It's so great. You just have no idea. It's been such that those roads, I-4 has been under construction since I visited with my family when Chrissa was 2 years old.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't
if not
affect,
longer.
Like us coming over in the slightest, because normally we're only coming off at iDrive anyway. So
yeah,
like for most sort of people coming from the UK, they'll be staying would be using Sand Lake Road I4. That maybe I4 a little bit if they're staying down the 192 or something, but as a rule, it wouldn't affect us in the slightest.
No.
Yeah.
Chrissa's almost 11, so for at least 9 years, it's been a construction zone and it's been hell.
I mean, if I were in your shoes, I'd definitely see myself using it. If it would get me to the park, half an hour sooner, sure.
Or even, it's not even so much about getting to the park. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm almost there. I can smell the parks. I can smell the churros. I'm so close. And then like, bam, it just stops. I've been flying the whole way and then dead stop traffic. And it's just so frustrating. So it's like, I don't know. It's just frustrating to be stuck right there.
Florida traffic.
Anyway, Moving right along, Christopher, what are some other announcements we have?
Sure thing, Michelle. So Universal have announced that March 14th, they opened a new quiet room at Universal Studios Florida to further help our guests with cognitive disabilities. Our guest safety and accessibility team worked alongside our creative team to create this new quiet room, which will provide a safe, quiet, low stimulation space that will allow guests to take a break from the noise and crowds of our theme park. The room is equipped with rubber floor tiles, an activity wall panel, and 2 hiding tunnels to help alleviate sensory overload and regain a sense of calm. The quiet room will be located at the front of the park to the right of the Studio Audience Center and Lost and Found. And its operating hours will match USF's park hours. Guests will not be required to reserve the room. However, they will need to wait until the room is vacant to use and will be encouraged to adhere to 30-minute time limit.
Okay. It sounds like I could get some use out of that sometimes, to be fair.
Yeah, you're always complaining about a place to relax, and here's a Universal place to relax.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know Maureen, I'm sure Maureen will be over the moon that's being put in there.
Oh, yeah.
As a big advocate for autism and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a lot of families will get a lot of benefit from that. I know if Tracy was here, she'd be singing the praises of this.
Yeah, that's such a good
It's a great addition.
It is.
I wonder if they're going to put it in, like if they're just testing it out at studios, and they'll probably put another one over at Islands.
I would think so. I would be surprised if they don't.
I could imagine this being so popular that they have to add more space.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great idea. Like, it's not something that we would use, but I'm sure tons of people, like, let's be honest, theme parks are such an overstimulating environment for I don't want to use the word normal, but you know what I mean, for the average person.
Yeah.
But for someone with cognitive disabilities, autism, or something like that, I can imagine it is a nightmare of a space to try and deal with.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just send Nancy in there next time I convince her to go to the parks. instead of her wanting to leave, I'll be like, there's this great new attraction. It's called the Quiet Room. Let's go check it out.
They'll convert it to a scaredy cat's room for Halloween Horror Nights. You get too freaked out, you can go and spend half an hour in there to calm down.
Yeah, just put a little Roku box, some Netflix, and you'll see half the park in there.
Oh my God. They're going to pay how much? $100 to go do exactly what they could have done at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in your happy place.
Fun times. Great. Awesome. Well, finally, after months of wondering, today, Monday, March 14th, Poseidon's Fury officially reopened, and our man Jeremy was on the spot to send us this review, having just getting out of it.
I have not listened to this yet. He literally sent me it like an hour ago, so this is
awesome.
On the spot.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy and Daniel. We are here at Universal's Islands of Adventure. We just got done at the Poseidon's Fury attraction, which newly opened today. We were here on the day it opened, and it was such a breath of fresh air to get to experience this attraction again after 2 years, has it been, since it closed down?
About 2 years.
So it's definitely a fun one to experience with a family. It's not your typical ride and such, as we all know. It's definitely more of a show walkthrough attraction, but still a lot of fun. Some of the little things we noticed, not a whole lot of difference in the show. The plot line, the story, a lot of the dialogue even is exactly the same. Obviously, this is a Spieler attraction, so you've got the Spieler who has their script, and they have a tendency to ad-lib, and our guys seem to ad-lib a little bit at times. Made some funny little jokes here and there, I thought. I definitely was fun to experience. In terms of refurbishments they did on the ride, not a whole lot in terms of story or the show itself. There were definitely some scenic elements. You could tell from the get-go that all the paint had been touched up. It was looking much, much brighter, wouldn't you say?
It was very more colorful.
Very more colorful. Great. I like that. It was very more colorful, yes. It was a lot more colorful. Definitely a lot more, I guess you could say, like, sort of not neon colors, but definitely it popped. And when you first walk up to the facade, you can already see how much it pops in the sunlight. All the water effects are working again. They've got fog effects even working in the water outside the attraction at the facade. Lots of really great stuff happening. Inside, in terms of technical effects, a lot of it is sort of similar to how it was before it shut down the first time back in 2020. A lot of it is relatively similar to how it was before. You can tell there's some changes in lighting, like very subtle changes, nothing super major in my opinion from what I saw. Daniel, what do you think?
Not really many changes in the lighting, but the projection is a lot better.
Yes, the projection, you can tell that they went in there and spent a little bit of money to update the projections, at least to my eye, that's what it looked like, because some of the images of Poseidon and Darkanon when they were fighting in the temple definitely were clearer to me. I thought there was a lot more clarity to them. The audio kind of sounded about the same. They didn't change anything audio-wise. Like I said, story was exactly the same, music same. In terms of a full refurbishment, they sort of did what they did with The Mummy in just sort of touching up those technical effects and making them a little bit cleaner, adding some clarity to them, a lot sharper images, I think. The video didn't really change. I don't know. To me, Darkanon looked a little different from how he used to look. And not like in a sense of the projection was sharper, but his facial features looked a little different to me. Did you notice that?
No.
Well, maybe it's just me, but to me, it looked like, I don't know, his face almost looked, did it look a little more cartoony almost to you?
Kind of.
Like, I don't know. And maybe
Never
it was,
ask a
maybe
friend,
it wasn't.
'cause
Maybe
they'll
it's
always throw
because
you
of the
under the
new
bus.
images. They were using the new projectors and such. That could have been the reasoning for it. I'm not really sure. But you could definitely tell there was more clarity there. Poseidon looked really good, especially in that final image we get of him, telling us, I grant you safe passage back to your land. It looked really, really good and was very strong. The whole effect in that final battle room, if you know the effect we're talking about, you already know what we're talking about here.
Yes.
It was done beautifully. It was so nice to see that effect done again. Lot more water effects, I feel like. I don't remember a big water screen coming down in front. Did it always do that?
Yes.
There was always a water screen.
Okay, so it's been a long time since we've experienced this attraction, but it definitely was a breath of fresh air to me. I enjoyed it. Everything about it was just so much fun. It's definitely a trip down memory lane, and I'm hoping it sticks around for quite some time. I imagine it probably will, but who's to say? With the recent touch-ups and such, I can't imagine they would get rid of it after having just touched things up in there. So I think we'll see it around for a little while. And if you get a chance to come out and experience the attraction, I highly recommend it. It's highly encouraged. It's a lot of fun. One of my favorites. Definitely worth the wait, in my opinion. And we just had a great time on it. So that's Poseidon's Fury, guys. It is back. It's open here at Islands of Adventure. There are tons of people queuing up for it. I think we waited, 45 minutes, I think, is what they advertised as the wait. It felt right around there, maybe a little less than 45, but definitely a fun experience nonetheless. So be sure to get out there and experience Poseidon's Fury. It's definitely a fun attraction, and you won't be sorry You won't be sorry. All right, guys. Well, we will talk to you later. Thanks so much for all that you do. We love the show. And we're so glad we got to experience the attraction and give you guys a little bit of an update on it. All right, guys. Take care.
I love how Jeremy made sure to say all the way through that it was his opinion, in my opinion, just in case anyone wants to jump on him.
Yay. Well, that's good news that it had opened back up. I was kind of hoping for it to have changed a little bit, though, not just be
Yeah.
painted.
I don't think they were going to. They're not going to throw that much money at it to change it. And let's be honest, as far as the projections and stuff, for something that's 22 years old, 23 years old, how much can they do with it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like playing a Nintendo on a high-def TV.
Yeah, it's only as good as it can be. Like, you can take standard definition film footage that isn't even being projected on a screen. It's on water, so that dulls your clarity straight away. And then even if you pump it through upscale into 4K, it's still not going to look amazing. So it's like when you watch TV on like those clip shows, like game shows and stuff from like the 90s, now they look awful. It's like
Yeah.
there's
They
only
do.
so much you can do. But I'm kind of glad that
Yeah,
they've
my
given it a bit of
nostalgic heart is a little happy.
TLC.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, for one thing, it's going to take people out of the lines because I think the capacity of it's pretty high. And the fact that it's been
It is.
closed as long as it has, people will want to do it, especially during spring break. So it's going to take a lot of people out of the lines from other attractions in the park. So definitely having another attraction in there to eat people up will help the lines elsewhere for definite. Even if you're not going to do Poseidon's Fury, it'll help everything else for you visiting.
True. True that.
I always think it's difficult as well. Somebody going in trying to review a refurb, having not done it for potentially 2 years, and then trying to remember what it was like 2 years ago, and then bring that to now. Because we can go at the parks having not been there for a year, and you'll see something. Go, was that there last time?
Mhm.
I don't
Right.
even know. Or we'll even watch people like Tim Tracker. Tim Tracker goes that often. He'll be wandering around, and because you're not fully paying attention, one day you might spot something. Or has that always been there, or is that new? I'm not. So
Yeah.
having that memory thing is difficult, but
That's why we got little things.
exactly. I'm glad it's got the upgrade, but it kind of saddened me a little bit because I think the whole of Lost Continent they need to put it to bed. To be fair.
I agree with that too. The nostalgia side of me is excited to at least go through it one more time. But yeah, I agree. I'm ready for them to use that land for something else.
Yeah.
It's prime real estate.
It is, because barring Poseidon's Fury and Mythos, there's nothing else in there. A couple of decent eateries, and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But Poseidon's Fury itself takes up a large footprint.
huge. I'd be interested to see how big that show building actually is, because it's got to be pretty big. The queue itself's massive. And then that whole facade as well. It's huge.
Well, remind me, do you remember how many rooms do you go through?
One. I'm trying to think. Do you go for you have the initial one with the message around the outside of the room? Do you go into another one and then into the water vortex, or from that
There's
one?
at least 3. Yeah.
So there might be 2 water vortex, then that room, then possibly there's at least 5, I would say.
Yeah. And each one of those rooms has to hold a large amount of people. So that's a huge capacity. It's not like it's just, for instance, Born, you've got the one holding room and then you've got
The theater.
The showroom.
the show.
Yeah.
No, in Poseidon's Fury, you've got like 5 showrooms, so that's got to be huge.
Just think about that finale room, because probably at least half of that finale room isn't even guest available space. It's show
Right.
space. So that last
Yep.
room's got to be massive. Yeah, it's
Yep.
huge. You get 2 or 3 attractions in there.
For sure. See? Yes. I like the way you think, Lee. Okay, Lee.
I know.
You're taking over filling some big shoes with the PC birthdays
I thought
today.
I would do. Yeah, I haven't done it. I think I normally give it to everyone else. I thought, do you know what? It's about time I did the birthdays.
And we got a lot today.
We have got a lot. Apparently, March was a big month. So let's start off with Mrs. Ian Ngwazi herself, Miss Lisa McKee. Happy birthday. Her birthday is on the March the 17th. You see, I'm not used to this. So happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Tracy leads this so much better than I do. Next day on March 18th, it's Brian Fuchs' birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then the next day, they're all like consequential. Is that the right
They
word?
really are.
Subquential. I don't know.
Sequential?
Sequential.
There you go. I knew it had a
They're
quential in it.
consequential as well, but
On March 19th is Simon Thomas's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
And then coming to us from Belgium on March 20th is Mr. Andy DeMartelara's birthday. Happy birthday, Andy.
Happy birthday, Andy.
happy birthday.
And then sharing his birthday on March 20th as well is Mr. Todd Garrett. Happy birthday, Todd.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then the next one, Michelle, you're going to have to help me with this because she is one of your agents and I cannot remember how to pronounce her surname.
I hope I pronounce it correctly. I think it's Uchalik.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
I spell it. I don't have to say it ever. I call her Lauren.
I'm just checking because I'm pretty sure on her Facebook page. Oh, no, she changed it. It used to tell you how to pronounce it and I can't remember. Oh,
Well,
Lauren,
you pronounce it the way you think you should pronounce it.
I can't remember. She used to have it on a Facebook page where the way you pronounce it and it isn't how it's spelled. I know that much. Lauren, I do apologise. But on March 21st, it is Lauren, however you pronounce her surname's birthday. Happy birthday, Lauren.
Lauren Uchalik. That's what we're going to say.
Happy birthday,
I
Lauren.
think it's something
Happy
like-
birthday, Lauren.
And correct
I'm
us if
sorry.
we're wrong.
It's like Uhalik or something. I can't remember. I do apologise. Please just
I'm going
message
to write
me.
her right now.
On March 24th, it is Stephanie Brown's birthday. So happy birthday, Stephanie.
Happy
birthday, Stephanie.
And the next day, we've got birthday twinsies. It is Mr. Chris Perrin's birthday. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Oh, he's
Because your name is Chris.
Ah, fair enough. And then, as I said, his twinsy is Adam Lynch. So happy birthday, Adam.
Happy birthday, Adam.
Happy birthday, Adam.
The other two
Sorry,
aren't
I'm
paying
writing.
attention.
I can't multitask.
And then finally, on March 27th, it is Kenny D. Twyler's birthday. So happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday.
Please
And
come.
I'm pretty sure that's pronounced Detweiler because I had a good friend growing up, but her last name was Detweiler.
Sorry, Kenny. I'm terrible with surnames.
We're about to find out how Lauren pronounces her name. Hang on, she's writing. Uhalik.
I was close. I knew it wasn't how you
Uhalik.
spelt it. I knew it wasn't how it was spelled. There you go.
We all failed.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday, Lauren Uhalik.
Don't forget to send cake.
Yes.
You're missing out on Lee. Lee, come on, man.
I could do with
You know
some
how to do
cake,
this.
actually. I haven't had any. I don't normally do it. I don't usually pay attention, to be fair.
Wow.
It's anyway. Look, I miss
We need a
people's
break.
birthdays. You know, we really do.
We need a break, so we're going to listen to some lovely words from Mouse and Muggle Travel Company.
You've started the decade off with a bang, so why not continue the party with Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort? Join us for this fan favourite with special food, parades, and even weekend concerts. And yes, there will be beads. This event runs nightly and is free with your daytime park admission, so there's no better time to plan your next Universal Orlando Resort vacation. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse and Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts vacations. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless. Some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to jump in now to a lovely review from Daniel for Rate My Crepe.
What's up, UUOP family? This is Daniel Johnson coming to you from Universal Studios, where today I'm going to do what I'm going to call a Rep My Crepe. I guess when you rep something, that's kind of what all the kids are saying nowadays, so I think it kind of goes together. Rep My Crepe. So, over the last 2 days, I've tried the brisket and the one with the strawberry and the cream, and I'll start out with the brisket. I was hoping for it to be my favorite. It started out good. It was hard to get the perfect bite with the cheese, the brisket, the slaw stuff that was in the middle. As you kind of worked your way down, it became a sloppy mess. So I guess it more was a structural issue rather than flavor issue. Flavor, it was great. Structurally, it became a sloppy mess by the time you got to the bottom. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. My other was the strawberry with the Nutella and the cream, and I have to say this one was outstanding. The full of strawberries from top to bottom, the cream and the Nutella blended well together, and it didn't become a mushy mess. It was great from the first bite all the way through the last. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Oh, hell yeah. It was excellent.
Wow.
Hope everyone's doing well, and we'll talk to you next time. And I'm recording this at Chez Alcatraz, so I don't know if you can pick up the Mardi Gras music in the back. Everyone have a great day. Talk to you next time. Take care.
You know, that's the first time I've heard a food review using the structure as a basis.
Yes.
Of how to review.
But
it
I
should
liked
be
it.
part of
more
it.
often.
Yeah, because like texture's a big issue with food as well, isn't it? So I suppose that plays into it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically when we were talking about the donut slider from Halloween Horror Nights, we were talking about structure there, weren't we? Where it was, instead of 2 donuts, we needed just 1 donut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even go as far as saying as texture is just another adjective that goes along with structure. So I think
Yes.
structure is the base here.
We're
Good
getting
call.
technical. We're going to need a universal food podcast in the UUOP network at some point because we're getting way too technical with this.
Chris, are we any further on the drinks podcast? Has that been talked about between you and Alexa yet?
I've been doing a lot of research this past weekend. we're still in the R&D phase. So
Okay.
but
honestly, that
we will,
could be
we will
so
discuss
much
that.
fun. It could be so much fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. Now, if you would like to get your crepe repped, send it over. Do a recording of yourself in the park. Try as many as you like, and obviously, like we've said before, give us your rating from a 1, which is ugh, to a 5, which is oh hell yeah, and send it over to podcast@uuopodcast.com.
Yeah, we still got quite a few, but we definitely want more. It's funny, like I say, since we put the call out at Christmas, I think we still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to. So yeah, people have definitely answered the call, as it were.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So moving on, Universal have recently shared their complete guide to Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. And as Chris has just come back from a trip to New York to see SNL at 30 Rock, we thought it was a great time to cover this post and get Chris's opinion on the theming at the Universal Studios Florida attraction.
As you enter the ride building, you're walking through the hallways of the iconic NBC Studios, the studio's headquarters in New York City. The downstairs lobby plays tribute to the Tonight Show hosts through the years and displays sets, props, and memorabilia of each era. You're then greeted into the ride by an NBC page who will give you a color-coded pass for later. Head on over to the upstairs area where you might just be serenaded by the Ragtime Gals Barbershop Quartet, can enjoy some #ThePanda moves, or play with some very cool interactive games. Once you see the room light the color of your card, go see the NBC page who will guide you into Studio 6B. You will be greeted by Jimmy Fallon himself, who will share one of his famous monologues, followed by safety precautions like you've never seen before, on preparation for you and Jimmy to board your vehicles and experience the race of a lifetime. Fun fact, as you receive a ticket from the NBC pages for the virtual queue, the cards match one of 6 colors in the NBC Peacock logo.
So how is it, Chris?
Identical.
Really?
It is, I mean, I've done Jimmy Fallon a ton of times. And when we went to go do this, I was just like, it's like, my God, this is the same thing. Like everything, even from like our tickets, which I posted pictures up in the, I think, Producers Club, and we posted up on the regular page. So like your tickets that tell you your host and everything, they look identical to the ones that they give you in the ride. When you get to the lobby, so you go up to like an elevator that takes you up to the Peacock Lounge, and the Peacock Lounge is basically the queue area that you wait inside the Jimmy Fallon ride. Again, just looks so much like it. Obviously, there's some differences, a little bit more grand.
Yes.
In New York, obviously, but I mean, it is so easy to spot. Like there was so many iconic things that I would see and just go, "Yep, that's Jimmy Fallon ride. Yep, that's there too." And it was a really cool experience.
Awesome.
You know, it was
So
cooler
cool.
than I thought it would be.
I would have never even thought that it was the same as what you would see in the studios at New York City. Like it never even crossed my mind, like an idiot. And then when you posted your pictures, I was like, oh my God, that is spot on.
Well, the other thing too is like I knew there was gonna be some similarities because when the ride first opened, and I think we talked about it way back when, you know, there was kind of like the joke was, the theming is identical to a building, right? So it's not hard to theme a building from the outside, sure, but like you would never think unless you went to SNL or saw Jimmy Fallon and got to go inside the studios, inside the Peacock Lounge, that they really went all the way with the theming, even to like the tickets that have a color coded thing on there. It was just it was a nice little extra being a big Universal fan and enjoying Jimmy Fallon as a ride. I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
I will definitely appreciate all of that at the Jimmy Fallon attraction now that I've seen your pictures.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate it more.
It's such an underappreciated attraction, this one. I think a lot of people passed it off as just another simulator attraction in the parks, and I think it is just another simulator attraction in the parks, but I think it's definitely a sum of its parts. Like, everyone knows how much I love a barbershop quartet. I could sit in there for a couple of hours and just watch the Ragtime Girls. Chris, that time we did it with you and Alexa, our first time in there, was so good. I mean, there was literally you, us, and then like another couple. So we basically got a private show of it. It was brilliant. And then the last time we were there, Tracy and I spent probably 10 or 15 minutes hanging out with #ThePanda. And it's just, the pre-show's awesome. And then we're going to get onto the ride in a minute. I just think it's totally underappreciated. I think it definitely is something that if you go, I don't like Jimmy Fallon,
you can still enjoy the ride.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Because I really wasn't a big Jimmy Fallon ride. I wasn't a big Jimmy Fallon fan before the ride. And even now I'm like, the ride is okay. Like, it's something I do if the wait times are too much for everything else. But now I really, really like Jimmy Fallon as a person. And so I appreciate it in a different way, but it's enjoyable even if you don't know who Jimmy Fallon is.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know him, and I know, like, me and Tracy both find him funny, but as far as a lot of the characters that are dotted out throughout the ride, we don't know any of them, really. Our experience of them is the attraction. But that doesn't mean they're not funny.
Right. True.
And they hinted at there, the ride spiel. What other attraction in any theme park has a safety spiel as good as this?
No, it's the Roots. Come on.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So good.
It's
one other thing, I guess it's not like a tip, but something I learned when I was over there is obviously extremely difficult to get tickets to any live showing, especially SNL or even Jimmy Fallon, right? You got to like win these things. But if you do want to experience something like that, from what I saw, is they also have a tour of the studios. So you can actually visit, where they filmed Jimmy Fallon. You can go through the same lobbies that I went through. I think they take you to the Peacock Lounge. So if you're up in Universal and kind of want to do like a similar thing to see this, which I would say do it because it's a really cool kind of tour, especially if you're a Universal fan. If not, it's still Rockefeller Center. You know what I mean? It's a historic building, and it's been, tons of shows have been filmed there. You can definitely do that tour, and it's not that expensive.
Okay.
Yep.
Good tip.
Cool.
So obviously moving on to the ride itself, it is a motion simulator 3D experience. Surprise, surprise. Jimmy Fallon challenges you to race him through New York City aboard his race car, the Tonight Rider, which I love the name of. The competition starts inside the corridors of Studio 6B's backstage and heads through iconic New York landmarks. You can literally smell the pizza and feel the underground heat of the manholes while creating some turmoil within the city that never sleeps. From driving through construction sites, swarming through busy traffic, and riding away from the honking and beeping of the yellow taxis, to riding underground and invading the subway tracks, this is an adventure where you will have to hold on tight to the steering wheel. While racing, you will encounter some friendly faces such as Tight Pants, #ThePanda, the Ragtime Gals, and even Sarah with no H because H's are ew. And their stepdad, Chris did it better than me. Like, as I say, I don't really know much of them. And their stepdad, nobody cares about Gary's name, who cheer you on as you embark on this high-speed adventure. Catch you on the flippity flop.
This fast-paced journey even takes you to new heights and depths as the vehicles convert into hovercrafts that fly through the city skyscrapers, dive into the East River for a very close shark encounter, and then up again, soaring over the city, around Lady Liberty's torch, and through the city's fireworks. Warning, be careful with #ThePanda, who has taken on a King Kong persona and is trying to catch you. We can say that this ride is out of this world, literally, as the race's next checkpoint is the moon. Enjoy some zero gravity entertainment and some lunar thank you notes by Jimmy. in no time go from floating to zooming as you are sent back to Earth in a hyperdrive tube that takes you back to the finish line at 30 Rock's Studio B6. May the best driver win. So all that to say, it sounds like, if you've never ridden this before, it sounds like it's scary and like you're going to be sitting in a race car and actually going somewhere. You're not. You're literally sitting in the studio audience, and the whole room, like the whole, everybody, all the benches are all moving together at the same time, and it's not scary, I promise. Maybe a little nauseating at times if you're motion sickness type person, but definitely not scary.
I think the thing about this attraction though is like people expect, I think especially when this came to the parks, that Universal were on a course of like Forbidden Journey, Gringotts, where they were putting in these really big grand attractions, and then they put something like this and then people were like, what the hell is this? But not every attraction has to be a groundbreaking, state-of-the-art thing. You need these other things.
Yeah.
And this, it's just fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be mind-blowing, which it isn't. It's not a massive thrill ride. It's no Velocicoaster. It's no Hagrid's. But it's just, I think you come out of it with a smile on your face, and if that's what happens, if you ride it and you come out laughing or smiling or whatever, then it's done its job. You know, an attraction doesn't have to be the best thing you've ever ridden in your life for you to enjoy it. And I think this ticks that box massively.
Yeah, it's like a simulator 2.0 with the screen and stuff like that.
It's
It
just
takes
fun.
it to like a higher level. Yeah, absolutely.
People just went into it with a view of it, expecting something more than what it was going to be.
I think it's like, they saw it race through New York, so they thought, roller coaster, something like that.
Yeah.
Saw Fast and Furious, roller coaster, something like that. And it's like, no.
If you haven't ridden it, the details you need to know are the height requirement is 40 inches, which is 102 centimeters. Children under 48 inches, 122 centimeters require a supervising companion, and Universal Express Pass is available, and the virtual line is there sometimes, as you heard from Seth earlier.
Yep.
Because most of the time when it's available, it's not available because you can't get one.
True.
Yeah. You also have the gift shop because every ride ends in the gift shop. The fun doesn't have to stop after you finish the race. Celebrate your victory and stop by the NBC store to stock up on NBC merchandise and apparel, just like the ones you find at the NBC Studio store in New York City. Very true. They look very similar as well.
Okay, that's cool.
If you love the show and its characters, grab yourself a #ThePanda plush and some white tight pants.
No.
Please.
I will
don't
buy
do
you a
that.
pair of pants.
I'm sure you would while I drink a peach daiquiri. Yes, I'm sure.
Chad, now you got to wear a pair of white tight pants and redo that whole video.
Yes, please.
Or if you think it's ew, well, then you can grab some Sarah approved souvenirs.
I think when we come over this year, Tracy's quite smitten
You gonna
by
get white
those. No, the peacock cushions.
Yes.
I know our friends Jim and Steph from the Despicable 3. Jimmy has one, and it's really cool. I don't know how expensive they are, but they are quite cool cushions. I would quite like one of them in the house.
They had the same ones in New York as well, which I wanted to buy one there. I did not realize they were in this store as well.
Did you get anything from the store when you were there then, Chris?
An SNL mug and some like stickers of like NBC, stuff like that. I wanted to actually buy that pillow, funny enough, but we were like tight on space in the suitcase.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just grab it in Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird synergistic thing in the Orlando park, is it, to buy like NBC merchandise. It's kind of weird. Like I can understand the Jimmy Fallon stuff or the race through New York, but to buy buying merchandise for the parent
I agree
company.
with you. I think it's just the colors on that thing are so bright. It's just like a cool pillow.
Yeah. It is weird to be buying like NBC stuff, isn't it? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it is the parent company, so
It is, but it's like that's not. But how many people know that?
Yeah.
right.
The average guest
It's
going
like,
to
it's
Universal
like if you
doesn't
go
know
into
that.
like the Simpsons shop and go and buy like Fox t-shirts.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's just weird.
Heard.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. It'd be like going into the Men in Black store and buying a Sony t-shirt.
Well,
It
that
would
I'd
be
rock
weird.
with my PS5. It's different.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like
Awesome.
it a lot, actually. I think it's one again. I think unlike something like Shrek or Despicable Me, I would try and ride Fallon every time we go. I do like it a lot.
Yeah.
We ride it Krista likes it a lot. So if she's with me, we pretty much ride it, but it's not something that I make it a point to ride. I enjoy the air conditioning and
it's a great summertime ride.
Yeah. And I really kind of enjoy the queue more than I do the ride itself. I just think it's super cool how they've set it up, and I wish more rides utilize this type of queue system where you're not standing in a line. Like, you're given a card and everybody can meander around the room and look at memorabilia and stuff. And then when your color comes up, you move on to the next room. It's kind of a brilliant system. So I like that a lot. And then I like hanging up in the lounge, and watching all the shows and playing the little game tables and stuff. So I like it for that.
Oh, Michelle,
have you actually been like not stuck, but waited in the like the hallway of different Tonight Show guests?
Is it
while you were trying to ride the ride, or did you just go like straight past that?
No, I have.
When the ride first opened for me, and I've never really.
It's been a long time.
Okay.
So it did a lot in the beginning, of course, and then it did a lot during COVID because of social distancing. They actually didn't let you meander. They actually lined people up because of social distancing. So we did have to kind of wait and go through sequentially. But yeah, if more rides utilize that type of system, I just think it's brilliant.
I think the thing is, it makes sense in there, doesn't it? Because Chris has said it's literally the same as going to the actual building, so it makes sense in there. Whereas I think in others it wouldn't necessarily as much, would it? And Michelle, you need a slap on your wrists, by the way, because if you're playing those stupid table games and not watching the Ragtime Gals, you're doing it wrong.
I do both.
You can't do both.
Yes, you can. There's nothing that says that when your color comes up, you have to go line up. You can wait till the next time your color comes up.
You should not be playing those games. You've got a game machine in your pocket.
But I don't know. It's fun, and my kid likes it, and I like it.
Game shaming her?
Yes.
Right.
You're in a theme park. You should not be playing games.
I don't play games at home.
Well, maybe you should.
I do this thing called work. Pretty much 12 to 24 hours a day, it seems like. So no video games at home. I actually do go to a theme park to not work. So
you're the one
going
inside that arcade.
That's it. Yeah, you beat me to it, Chris. That's exactly where my mind went.
You know what? If it were free, yes. But I'm not going to go pay more money in the arcade. I would totally play the carnival games if they weren't extra money too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But,
or even extra as they are now.
I've never done them because they're extra money.
Oh, we used to buy the cards, like that 5-play card thing. We love carnival games, but then recently I think they jacked up the price even more. I'm like,
Well, and if I really wanted the prize that I was playing for, then that might be something too, but I don't even want the prize. So
no.
We just play to get those little Simpson donut pillows.
Okay.
Because our cat uses it as its bed. So after it gets worn out enough, we just go win a new one and then she gets a new bed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's funny. Cool.
Awesome.
Yes, I do
All
like
right.
Fallon.
Yes, I do too. It's a good addition to the park. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely no Fast and Furious.
Family.
So that being said, we will wrap up another UUOP with a Universal Is. And this one comes from Zoe Kemp. But of course, if you would like to get involved, just let us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less and send them to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or however you want to get them to us is fine. But for now, Zoe says Universal is my happy place. Catch you on the flippity flop.
That was another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, the best and only podcast about Universal Orlando on the island. Check us out on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcasts, news, and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your questions, comments, and listener debate submissions to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Join the Producers Club by emailing us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, for all your other theme park news, and use our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company, to book your next trip. So until next time, this is Amity 6. Call off the Marines. We're coming home.